Plants don't grow all the time. They grow a while and then they rest. In this rose, for example, there's a period of growth, then a period of rest, then a period of growth, then a period of rest.
So, my 2022 didn't exactly go as planned or as desired. Overall, the year was rough, really rough. You're going to start this off not exactly in the beginning of the year, but a little bit afterwards. In April, my dad passed away. I was still in school when all this happened, and it was really rough for me and my family, me and my mom. It was really, really hard on us. There was a lot of things that, us as a family felt still had to be done. There's still so many things that we had to experience together, experience with my dad that, we can't and we couldn't anymore. I won't lie. After my dad had passed away, I feel as though I did let myself go a little bit. I just didn't really care about a lot of things for a while. Like, I wasn't a complete wreck, but I just didn't care about stuff as much as I used to. And that kind of bled into the summer. I was fighting through grief. There was a lot of moments where I kind of questioned myself because, I wasn't crying. I the only time I really remember crying was when I closed the casket for my dad and I watched him go into the ground. Those are the only times I remember crying. But even through the funeral, through so many things, I didn't cry before. When my dad had died, the days in between, I don't really think I cried. And a lot of the time after, I didn't cry, but my heart was still grieving because my dad wasn't there anymore. I don't know. Everybody says that people grieve in different ways, and this is true. People do grieve in different ways, but I for a while, I felt like there was something wrong with me. And even now, I don't think there's anything wrong, but I look back on it and I kind of question, why did I react the way that I've reacted, compared to my mom, who was really, really going through it and who, cried almost every day. Why was I the way that I was? And to answer that question, I don't know. But, I fought through it throughout the summer. Luckily I had people in my life to kind of cheer things up and to kind of make things better. Spent some time with some friends, enjoyed myself. At this time had a girlfriend, person that I was dating, and even enjoyed myself through that. For the situations that I was going through, having people around made things so much better, and it made the whole environment a lot lighter, and the weight on my shoulders was a lot lighter. But I mean, summer definitely had its ups and downs too. But luckily, I had people there.
There are many wonderful things happening about us each day that we miss simply because they happen too slowly for us to see.
So the fall semester of my sophomore year starts, and it starts off well. I get to see all of my friends that I had made freshman year. I finally got to see them again after so long, and it was great. Everything was great. It was awesome. It was nice to see my friends. It was nice to see the people that I cared about, who cared about me, and to just have fun and be together. That fall, I went to my first party ever. It was pretty fun. I went with them. Definitely enjoyed ourselves. It was a lot of fun. Everything was fun. Everything was great until it wasn't. Later on, during this fall semester, I had lost almost all of my friends on campus, or people who at the time I considered friends, and that hurt. That hurt a lot. When one day you're friends with people and the next day, basically at a snap of a finger, they're gone. They don't want to deal with you. They don't want to associate with you. They're just kind of done. I know the reason why they left. And the truth is because I wasn't a perfect friend. And that is very difficult to admit. And it's not even difficult to admit because I don't want to admit it. It's difficult to admit because I wish I didn't have to. But it's the truth. I definitely wasn't the perfect friend. There would be a lot of moments where I'd be very neglectful, not really checking up on my friends, or not really asking them how they're doing, or focusing on any of, their issues, because I'm so swallowed up in my own that I just get so distracted. And that stuff hurt them. One of my own best friends at that time had decided it was best for themselves to separate because of toxicities in a relationship. I'm not claiming to be perfect whatsoever, because I definitely am not, and I admit that I am not a perfect person, but it really hit me hard when this happened. So, throughout the majority of the rest of my fall semester, I was basically alone. I had less than a handful of people on campus to talk to. My roommate became basically like my brother at that point. We have grown very, very close. He was like my best friend, and I thank God that I at least had him there through everything to help me, through all of this. But I was very alone, and that definitely hurt my heart a lot. But there's something in my heart that I felt. Something in my heart that was good, that was pure, that had good intentions. And I believe it was love. I believe it is love. For a while, I wanted to fix and mend some relationships that had been broken. And out of the pureness and out of the love of my heart, I decided that I really had to make sure I was okay before I went out and started working on trying to mend relationships. And something that I felt really happened to me that really impacted my life was that I feel like God had spoken to me and basically said this: if you're not okay in life with it just being me and you, then you have to learn. That's something that you're gonna have to learn before I put people in your life. Before I either put people in your life or bring people back into your life. And that really hit me hard. That was a lot. But it did motivate me, and not only did it motivate me, but it was a truth I stuck to. That I decided the only way that I could get better is to learn to be okay living my life with just me and God. Living my life without having all these people in my life, as much as I wanted, as much as I might not like being quote unquote alone. I have to learn how to live and be happy with myself. I have to. It is essential. So I decided that was the best thing for me to do, and I did it. I started doing things for myself, showing love to myself in so many different ways, physically, emotionally, through all these things, like taking care of myself. Like, you know, I really have fallen into loving like fashion a lot, because I've come to realize that like I look good, like like I look good in a lot of clothing, and there's like a lot of different styles I would never imagine I would have worn before, but now that I love wearing, because I've made this realization, because these things have happened. And for the few people that I have had in my life at that moment, you know, and at this moment, really, like, our relationships have grown so much closer, you know, and really just the relationship with myself and my appreciation for myself, my values, my attributes, my characteristics have grown substantially. Like, I really genuinely can say that I really, really love myself. Of course, there's parts of me that I wish I could fix. Not even fix. There's parts of me that I want to work on, that I want to get better. But even with that, I still love myself. And it wasn't easy. This whole journey of loving myself was not easy at all. It was rough. I've had moments where I've literally curled up in a ball, fetal position, crying in my covers. Like, and trust me, that is embarrassing to say out loud. But this stuff is true. This stuff is real. It was rough, but luckily I wasn't alone. I had God by my side, my roommate, my friends back home. I had people around me, and I learned to at least have a level of love for myself that continues to grow every day. Now, what I also realized in all of this is that you can't force yourself into people's lives at all. And if you try to, you will probably end up making things worse. And sometimes there are some relationships that aren't meant to be in the first place. And I think that's something I realized with some of my friends, or some of the people that at the time I considered friends. And now looking back on it, if somebody really believes that you're a friend, or somebody really truly is your friend, no matter the hardships you guys go through together, how much you guys annoy each other, get on each other's nerves, do just stupid stuff to each other, they will always be there for you. No matter how mad you might get them, they'll always come back and try to work things out. You know, I realized myself that there was a lot of ugly parts of me in the past that I just didn't like, and I also sat down and I realized to myself that that is who I don't want to be. That is not me. The ugly things that I used to do, that's not me. That's not who I want to be. That's not who I am. And I'm glad I'm not the only person that realized that. So God did do what he said he was going to do. He had brought somebody back into my life, somebody that I care about. I'm very thankful for it. I'm so thankful for it, because sometimes when you, not even sometimes, every time, when somebody important in your life isn't there anymore, that's some of the worst pain you can feel. But luckily, God decided it was okay for them to be back in my life. This year was not easy at all. Through, you know, my father passing away, everything I dealt with through the summer, me losing so many friends at once, losing so many people, important people in my life, just being depressed, being anxious, you know, suffering and crying, just being sad. Through all of these things, you know, even my education, like educationally this semester and the second half of 2022, I really faltered because I've been dealing with so many things. You know, even though all this stuff just did not go the way that I planned it, I'm sitting here now, thankful that I learned these things, thankful that as rough as my year was, I am still here and I am still alive. And for me, I have nobody but God to thank for that. And that's my truth. 2023, I don't know what's gonna bring. But I'm going into it with the intention of this being the best year of my life. Or not even the start of the best years of my life. The start of new relationships, the start of new breakthroughs, the start of new ambitions, rekindling of old passions. I'm going into 2022 with the intention of being happy. I don't know what you guys have gone through this 2022, this past 2022 year. It might have been rough. It might have not been so rough. But whatever it is, whatever your 2022 is like, whatever you were like in 2022, one of the most important things I could tell you is to go into 2023 with the intent in your heart to make that the best, the beginning of the best years of your life. Continue being, or even start being, the good person that you know that you are. Even if you tell yourself in your heart, even if you tell yourself in your mind that you are a bad person, that you don't deserve this, you don't deserve that, you know deep down in your heart that all you want to be is a good person. This is your chance to do that. To start doing that, or continue doing that if you already are. Continue to be a good person. Continue to be bright. Continue to smile every day. Keep that positivity in your mind. If you feel like you don't have somebody in your life, you're not alone. Believe it or not, you have God with you. And trust me, I know I've been talking about God a lot and you guys don't really hear that on this channel or whatever, but my relationship has grown really, really close. And trust me, I was never this close personally to God like I am now. I was never this close. But I've gone through shit. I've gone through a lot of stuff. And the only reason I think I made it through is because he was with me. And there's nothing, trust me, there was nothing special I did. Nothing special. But just believe and have the intent that I can make it through. Have faith. He's there for y'all just like he was there for me. If you guys don't think you guys have people in your life, really take a good look around you. Because I'm sure there's somebody there. It can get rough, man. Trust me. I get it better than anybody. And there's some people who have it worse than me. But there's a lot of light in the darkness. There's a lot of beauty in the darkness itself, to be honest. It's the little things that bring it all together. Keep being good guys. Just keep being the good people I believe you are. The beautiful people I believe you are. And not only will we make it through 2023, but it will really start something in us. Spark something that maybe we didn't even imagine we had. I love you guys. And I hope you all have a Happy New Year.
One caterpillar, the anise swallowtail. As the days of the caterpillar's existence as a larva draw to a close, he begins an amazing series of preparations for the next event of his life. The spinning of this silken loop is an important step in that process.